Perfect. Awesome. Welcome back to the channel. We are visited by a special guest today. We have an amazing client, Troy, who's been in the program for just about a year. We're approaching that 1 year. We're approaching that 1 year, right? November.
We are. It's coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. So that 1 year is coming up, which is super exciting. And he's down about 40 pounds now, which is super, super cool. But yeah, Troy, welcome. Thanks for joining in.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, of course. And I apologize for the reschedule. I know we were supposed to connect last week, but I appreciate you coming in this week instead.
I'm flexible.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So tell me, let's go back to when we first met. Where were you when we started the program? And then we'll go from there.
Awesome. So where I was before the program, I was actually working with an in-person trainer. It was only about 2 days a week, and it was very inconsistent.
Okay.
Some days it was once a week. Sometimes it was zero times a week.
Hmm.
Um, so the only thing that we were focusing on was lifting.
Right.
So we'd pick one upper body day, one lower body day, and just kind of flip flop. It was kind of the same thing over and over. Definitely not tracking any sort of results. We weren't tracking the weights. We weren't really tracking anything. It was just kind of, okay, next exercise, next exercise.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the days I was filling with my own cardio. So I had
Hmm.
no plan. It was very much, okay, let's get an hour's worth of steps in. Not necessarily a step goal. It was let's get an hour of steps in. And then
Yeah.
every once in a while to increase that to like an hour and 5 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. Got a little
Okay.
ridiculous where I was doing about 2.5, sometimes 3 hours of exercising.
Wow.
getting, I mean, it was getting some sort of movement, but it wasn't any sort of consistency.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't focusing on nutrition whatsoever.
Okay.
I was getting meal plans delivered, so like the prepackaged lunches,
Hmm.
dinners, and when I didn't feel like eating those, it was DoorDash. And while I'm talking DoorDash about 4 to 5, sometimes 6 meals per week,
A
and
lot.
they were not the healthiest. Gotta admit, but it was just what was easy. It was what was convenient.
Hmm.
So really, just kind of no structure, no plan, and I just felt stuck, and I just didn't know where to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And really having a trainer in person, getting that exercise in by walking as much as you can and really trying to make the healthiest choices possible. Sometimes it can be frustrating because it seems like you're checking all the boxes, but you're not seeing the progress that you're looking for.
All right.
Yeah. So what was the shift? What was the change for you that kind of allowed you to break through that plateau?
Joining your program. I guess we kind of want to start from the beginning here is that I was completely stuck. But at my heaviest, I was 200 and I think it was 265 pounds.
Hmm.
And starting to work with that in-person trainer and starting to do as much cardio that I was doing, I was able to get down to around 235. But then I was stuck at about 235, 240, fluctuated
Yeah.
for about a year. And it's a
Okay.
long time to be stuck somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Um, so like I said, and I wasn't really tracking anything. I wasn't tracking the number of steps. I was tracking the number of hours that I was doing things. So as I was starting to look at, kind of past data that was imported,
Hmm.
I was working out like exercising like 3 hours a day, and I'm going, I don't have time for this, but I just
Yeah.
felt like I needed to fit something in to try something different.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you mentioned, 3 hours of exercise a day is a lot. And
Wow.
you're a busy guy, right?
I am.
You're a professional, you're an executive, like you don't have a lot of free time. So that 3 hours per day was just it wasn't the right fit.
And it wasn't because it was trying to fit it in around meetings. So it was
Hmm.
like if I had a 30-minute break in between meetings, I'd walk around the block,
Yeah,
or I'd do like a 10-minute Peloton spin class or something just to try to fit in the time.
right. Yeah. And then the free time that you did have should be allocated to meal prep, but like you're probably exhausted after a full day of work and a bunch of exercise in that day.
Right. And the last thing you want to do is cook a meal.
Yeah,
It really is. It's easier to pick up the phone and order something, have it dropped off at your door, pick it up and eat it.
yeah. And then the DoorDash bill comes after a week of ordering and you're like, "Oh no, I should probably make a change." Hey.
but we'll do the change next week, and then the
Yeah.
next week is we'll do the change next week, right? It's one of those just constant changes that just never come.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of those things that's like you almost need something significant to happen to find that turning point, right? We
Yep.
sometimes need something to really just say, hey, you know what? Enough's enough. Like I need to make a change and find a more sustainable solution that works in terms of training and nutrition. What was that like turning point for you?
Oh, gee, well, the turning point. So this kind of takes me into looking around on like Instagram, Facebook. There's a lot of like fitness coaches, fitness influencers, and
Hmm.
trying to figure out what is the best fit here and
Yeah.
what's going to work for me because a lot of it just felt like kind of like fad programs. Like
Okay.
here's what everybody's doing in this moment, and it's going to change next month. But here's what we're doing.
Right.
So join my program if you want to see 30 pounds gone in your first month,
Oh
and you're
yeah.
just like, oh, come on, come on. But then I came across your post, and then I
Hmm.
think I followed you like right away because it was
Okay.
all of your posts were based around like facts,
Yeah.
science, the data to prove it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, there's something here. There's something here. And I believe it was almost a year ago actually that you did a 4 day master class.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm signing up for that because I want to see what this is all about. And
Nice.
that 4 days was the turning point for me.
Cool.
Those 4 days of having access to like your app and the workouts that you create for everybody and
Mm.
the food tracking and all of the education sessions because it was like 4 days, an hour each day of just
Yeah.
education and learning.
Yeah.
And that was my turning point. And I was like, there is something here. So that's when I was like, it still took me another month because I was like, am I sure? Am I sure? Am I sure? And I finally just said, you know what? Stop it
Yeah.
and just do it
Yeah.
and just do it. So that was my turning point.
Nice. Yeah, no, I remember that. And I remember speaking to you in the very beginning, and you're like, yeah, I was in that 4 day masterclass. I was like, oh, that was like a month ago. So, okay, now we're ready. And that's perfect because that's what it's about, right? Is I want to make sure that you have information that you can use for free and give it a shot and see if like it works for you and if you enjoy it. And then you come around and you're like, hey, I need to get something more tailored to myself so I can get some more progress.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the that was one of the things that stood out to me was the it's not a one size fits all program.
Yeah,
It's everybody gets their own thing based off of what we set our goals at the very beginning.
exactly.
And that was one of the big hesitations too was oh my God, is everyone going to get the same workout routine? Is everyone going to get the
Yeah.
same macro allotment? Is this just a cookie cutter thing that everyone's going to go through? And after just being in even just the community for those 4 days,
Yeah.
it was just kind of like, oh, well, I did this and I did that and I was able to do this. And I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Nice. Yeah. No, that's sweet. So let's piggyback off of what you mentioned with the personal trainer and your habits prior. What would you say now is like the most helpful for you in terms of the online coaching versus the in-person training?
Yeah, I was taking notes here because there was just kind of a lot of things that I wanted to mention that have been helpful to me, right?
Okay.
And like the very first thing that we did was we sat down, we outlined my goals.
Okay.
What do we want to achieve like over the next 3 months, 6 months to a year, right?
Mhm.
And this right out the gate, we outlined that nutritional plan was
Yeah.
here's the macro allotment not really focusing on what types of foods, right? This is a not more of this is a sustainability program, and it's like
Yeah.
eat the foods you like, but learn how to moderate it and just get it to fit into what we've outlined in this bubble here.
Yes.
And then we also outlined the workouts, which that was the most helpful thing for me was here's what you're doing on day one, day two, day three, day four, day five, day six, and you're resting on day seven.
Hmm.
And that turned everything around for me because I had structure in my life again.
Yeah.
And I had goals to work towards and I had something to work for. I could walk into the gym and be like, okay, this is exactly what I'm doing for the next 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
and then leave and be done and just feel completely happy and satisfied.
Good. Yeah. And it works around your schedule now, right? It's
And
not
it
something that
does.
it's not something you got to book an appointment for and you're in a meeting and you
No.
miss your session. It's like, okay, well, I got my workouts for the week, and if something happens, I can just push them to a later time if I need to.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, having that outline right out the gate just flipped everything around for me because I had a plan. I had a plan to follow. I had things to do and things to accomplish right out the gate. I didn't have to put a lot of thought into it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's I didn't have to stress about what am I going to focus on this week? What am I going to have to focus on just this minute? It's
Yeah.
already there for me. Here's what I'm focusing on.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's
Especially,
so much
yeah.
less stress.
Yeah, especially for someone in a position like yourself, like in a leadership role, where the last thing that you need to do is start making decisions for your health and fitness too, when you already have enough decisions to make at work, right?
Right.
No,
Right.
that's good. That's good. So then in that case, how has that affected your life now? Let's say you're about 40 pounds down. Like what changes have you noticed?
I am. So yeah, as of today, it's 47 pounds.
There we go.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just kind of so like I said, the first major thing that it did was it put a plan in place and it put a routine in place, and that's what I need. I need a routine. I need something to follow. So that
Mhm.
way, right when I get up in the morning, I get my quick carbs in, and I hit the gym, and then I get my steps in, and then I can just focus on other things. I don't have to focus on trying to get in extra workouts and get extra things done.
Yeah.
But as you know, we were talking about kind of what specific results have happened just
Yeah.
over the past 10 months alone. Um, like I said, we got as of this morning, 47 pounds of body weight loss. My body fat percent went from a 33 to a 22,
Wow.
which to me is huge,
That's
huge,
insane.
huge.
Yeah.
I started out I was between an extra large and an XXL in top, and now I'm mostly in a medium, which is the strangest thing. To go to a store and automatically try to go grab a large and an extra large, and I'm like, I am swimming in this.
Yeah.
And then pant size, I was around a 38-inch pant size, and now I'm like 32, 33.
Nice.
So it's that all kind of ties into now my confidence level
Yeah.
because my confidence level has now just gone through the roof because I'm not afraid to not wear baggy clothes because I
Awesome.
don't want everyone to see what's going on under here. I want
Yeah.
people to see what's going on under here now.
Yeah. Now you got to show it off.
I do. And I
That's
can't do
right.
that baggy clothes, dang it. But yeah, like I said, the biggest thing is just having that routine, having that structure to my life, and just being able to just know what I'm doing from a day to day basis. And then we got to talk about food, right?
Yeah.
When I came into this, that was the number one thing you were like, stop buying prepackaged stuff. It's not great. And I was like, well, let me see. You were right. I was wrong. So then I actually started cooking for myself. I'm definitely though not like a meal prep kind of person. Like I can't sit there and like plan out recipes, this, that, and the other. So I did a happy medium for myself, and I pre-make all my proteins, and I pre-cut like all my veggies, and I kind of pre-make my carbs and stuff too. So that way
Nice.
everything's prepared, ready to go in the fridge, and that way I don't necessarily know what I want to eat that day. So if something's
Mhm.
already made in a recipe, I'm like, oh, I have to eat this again. No, I can just mix and match every single day and just grab
Yeah.
something different. So that's been I think that's actually the biggest change is
Yeah.
I've started cooking for myself and there is zero processed food or there is prepackaged food.
Yeah.
And I DoorDash once every like 2 weeks. Because I still got to get that
That's a huge, huge improvement
in.
from basically daily to once bi-weekly, basically.
Yes. Yes.
I still remember, and I'll never forget. I think you came on one of the coaching calls and you mentioned that like you don't cook and you were kind of hesitant and you're like, I don't cook, like that's not what I do. And like I just need to figure out what I can do besides that. I don't want to do that. And now we're here, like 10 months later, and how do you feel about cooking?
I still I don't enjoy it, but I
Yeah,
don't hate it.
right.
I'm kind of in the this is what I need to do to get to my goals.
Yeah.
And that motivates me enough to spend it's usually Sunday afternoon, Sunday mornings,
Mhm.
and I run to the store, I grab all my proteins, my chickens, my pork, my turkeys, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And I bought the double stack air fryer and I just
Nice.
sit there for a few hours, just rotate meat, cut it up, throw it in the fridge, and I'm good to go for the week.
Got the Ninja Creamy the other day.
And I just bought that and I'm just trying to figure out how to use the stupid thing.
Yeah. It's a little bit confusing at first, but it's really easy after you get the hang of it.
Yeah, because that was another thing is I enjoy my sweet foods, right?
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I had noticed about you is in a lot of your posts you're eating a donut, and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not giving up my donut. So I have a
Exactly.
donut every once in a while. We're not
Yeah.
talking every day.
No.
Um, but it's like being able to make those kind of healthy switches. And so I was doing the healthy ice cream there for a long time, but it's like,
Mhm.
oh, at $7 a pint, I could be making this myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
right.
I broke down and I've seen a lot of other people in the community getting them and sharing their recipes and how they're making it. I was like, you know what? It's on sale. Let's do it.
Do
Let's
it.
go Amazon.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That's one of the things I really like about your story, Troy, is really seeing the evolution of like independence. Right? You came in and you were totally reliant on maybe a trainer in person for the workouts. Your meals were determined by DoorDash, and now you have everything in your control. Right? You have independence when it comes to your workouts, your food, your recovery, your habits now. You have full control. And
Yeah,
that is a point where like we want to get all of our clients because that shows the sustainability component where you're able to make these decisions on your own and you're in a position where you can sustain it long term. That's the most fulfilling moment ever. Like that shows that the job is where we want it to be. Like it's a job well done for sure.
right. And thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and like you just said, and I shared earlier, was it's the whole sustainability aspect of it. This isn't just a where you're doing whatever's kind of in season right now, whatever the fad diet is, whatever the fad workout is. No, these are things that you can use to change your life for the better.
Yeah.
And for me, they have because I've been able to incorporate them into other aspects of my life, just to be even being like a better leader at work because I now have structure in everything that I do and I can pass that structure along.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the principles and the pillars of fitness. I think people don't realize how they carry over into business or career or anything like that. Because once you start taking care of your body, it requires a certain level of accountability, discipline, consistency, which all of these things carry over to leveling up in your career or your relationships or anything like that. And I think we often overlook it because we just look at the grunt work, right? I gotta eat healthier, I gotta work out hard, and I gotta be consistent, and it's challenging. But we don't realize but what it's teaching us, right? These principles that it teaches us is something that everything else will improve. And I absolutely love that.
Yep, and it was only challenging for me before I joined this program because I didn't have a roadmap.
Right.
I was kind of making things up. I was following whatever other fitness influencers were doing at the moment, thinking, oh,
Yeah.
this might work for me.
Hmm.
So having that roadmap just helped me put that structure in place. And you were talking about discipline, and I got to share the story. Is I actually I do have a gym that's in my apartment building. It's pretty small, but it does the trick in a pinch, right?
Hmm.
But I've got a gym that's like 2 blocks away, and every morning I leave my house at 6 a.m. to go
Yeah.
hit that gym because I'm getting in before all the people get in there. I'm
Nice.
getting in right when it opens. So I do have a doorman in the morning, and this morning he stopped me and he goes, "I admire your dedication. You're out the door every single day at 6 o'clock. I know I'm going to see you." and
That's
he's like,
awesome.
and he's like, "I'm assuming you're going to the gym because you got your workout clothes on in
Yeah.
your gym bag." He's like, "I admire your dedication," and just it's those little things that people notice. That's like
Hmm.
for me now, it's just routine. I don't think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
It's part of just my day, and I don't. have to put that thought into, or that you're right, that, oh, I have to go work out and do this hard thing. No, to me, it's now I get to go work out
Yes.
and have this be a part of my day to make me a little bit better.
Yeah. And would you say when you first started, were you someone that kind of liked going to work out or going to the gym or not really?
I, it's no, no. I have to do this because something needs to change.
Yeah.
And so it was very much a chore. It was I have to do this, and I'm one of those that I have to get my workouts in the morning, and I know that about myself because if I
Mhm.
wait until the afternoon, the motivation to work out is gone.
Yeah.
And so that's why first thing I wake up, grab a bite to eat, get over to the gym, and just that part of my day is now done, and I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important, an important message for many people to hear because I think we have this misconception where when someone gets in shape or if someone's fit, they automatically have had the blessing of loving to work out and loving exercise. But it definitely doesn't have to be
You
that
don't
way.
have to.
Right? If you don't like it and you give it a shot, it's going to be a part of your life. It's going to be a few hours a week, but it's not going to be something that you have to commit to, right? I always look at it like fitness should never take over your life. It should just be a part of your life, right? It's a commitment that you make for a few hours or a couple hours a week, but it's not something that you need to change your entire life for, or even
Yep.
your character, your personality, right? Like you don't have to become a gym rat or someone that loves going to the gym. Like it's not
Yep.
the prerequisite. We just need to find something that you kind of enjoy so that you can actually do it consistently over time.
Right. And I'm not saying I love it every day. There are some
No.
days where I'm like, but but I know I'm on such a good path after,
Yeah.
almost a year. I'm on such a good path. I don't want to derail that.
Yes. And that's like one of the things I love to say is progress fuels motivation. And you're at that point now where you're in momentum, right? We're getting to this point where we're seeing results, you're hitting new milestones, and you're like, hey, I want to continue this on and I want to maintain what I've achieved. And that's what fuels a journey. A lot of people
Yep.
when they want to get started, I get messages all the time in terms of motivation. I just don't have the motivation to start. And I always say that it's because you haven't seen a win yet, right? As soon as you see that first small win, maybe it's simply going to the gym for the first time in 10 years, right? That's a
Yep.
win. But we often correlate it with losing 50 pounds, right? We correlate it with the end result. But the wins are all these small little successes that we achieve along the way. And that's what gets you motivated. But if we can't look back on those wins, that motivation isn't going to magically appear. We're not going to wake up one day and just be like, hey, today's the day, I'm going to do it. It's like, no, you have to get to that point where you're like, okay, this may be tough, this may be challenging, but I'm just going to give it my best effort. And the only expectation I have is to just do it. Whatever happens
Yep.
afterwards is not what I'm going for. I just need to get it done and then just notice how you feel, right? You're going to take a look and say, hey, I actually did what I said I was going to do. And that's so important.
Yep. And yeah, just to kind of add to that is when I first started, the overall goal that we had basically for the year was to lose that 60 pounds.
Hmm.
And we're getting there. We're getting there. And in my head, initially, I'm like, I'm not going to have my first win until I hit that 60 pounds.
Right.
And that's where that demotivation comes from is 60 pounds is so feels so far away.
Yeah.
But then when you really get into the program, and especially with like the weekly coaching calls where everybody starts off with what is your win, and you hear what everybody else has accomplished, and you're just like, it's the little stuff, man.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big. Oh, I lost 15 pounds. No. It can be I lost half a pound. Feeling great. Let's
Yeah.
keep this going. You know what I mean? It's it's awesome.
That's right. It's your environment shapes your habits as well. Like just
Yep.
hearing other people's wins and even struggles, those are all important. Like you need to realize that like some people have the same struggles as you and hearing how they overcome those struggles and hearing other people's successes, it just reinforces that what you're doing is the right thing and that you're on the right track. And I think having that community and that environment change really does help hold us accountable a little bit more.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Because I think that's one of the biggest benefits about the coaching calls is not just the wins, but I want to hear what other people are struggling with because it may be something
Yes.
that I haven't thought about.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I don't necessarily come in with a question, right? Because I usually like to pre-plan my questions. That way I have something. But for me, it's more about listening to everybody else. What are you struggling with?
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way. Or maybe it's a struggle that I was having that didn't realize that I was having.
Yes.
And then getting that information to fix it.
Yeah. Yep. Because you
Right?
don't.
It's not like we walk in and like, oh, I don't know. No, it's we've got answers. We've got questions. We've got answers.
Yeah, we got answers, and you're not alone,
Yes.
right? Especially when it comes to fitness, we can get so caught up in our own heads and think that we're the only ones struggling with this. Like, why is fitness so hard for me? Like, it looks easier for someone else. Why is it so hard for me? But then you get on these calls or you're in a community of like-minded individuals, and everyone's going through a similar struggle, right? It may not be
Yes.
identical, but it's very similar. And
Very similar.
it's meant to be challenging, right? There's meant to be challenges. And if it was easy, like you mentioned, if you're looking at these promotions of 30 pounds in 30 days and it's just push button easy, it's not real. It doesn't work.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. Awesome. So let's dive into then what were like some of your main hesitations to join the program at the very beginning?
Yeah, like I said, and this may be a repeat of something that I said before, but there was
Mhm.
just so many fitness coaches, fitness influencers, programs,
Yeah.
diets, workout programs. You got AI in the mix, and you're just
Hmm.
like, I don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And because there's too much information, right?
Hmm.
And not only too much information, but a lot of misinformation, and you
Yeah.
just don't know who's right.
That's
You
right.
know, it's like, and it's like there's little pieces of everything that you're kind of going on. So for I don't know, that was my big hesitation is just
Mhm.
not knowing where to start
Yeah.
and just trying to figure out what is that what's my in here, what's my in to my fitness journey, and what does that look like.
Yeah.
And when you've got so much information out there, you just don't know what that looks like, and you don't know
Yeah.
how to get that started.
Information overload, kind of
Yes.
analysis paralysis kind of deal. And also just like not knowing what's right for you, right?
Exactly.
That's a huge one too, because there may very well be an approach that works. And does it work for you and your lifestyle? That's like the biggest thing. Because a lot of things do work. We can't say everything is wrong and everything is false. A lot of things do work, but it just isn't right for us. And finding the
Right.
right thing for you was the game changer.
Right. And another kind of hesitation was is this going to be the program set up for me and then I'm going to be ignored
Right.
for like the next 4 to 6 weeks until we reevaluate?
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing for me is I don't need a lot of attention, but I need to know that what I'm doing is right. What
Yeah.
I'm doing is good on a fairly regular basis.
Yeah.
And like I said, that 4 day masterclass, that's literally what turned everything around for me because I got a taste of what it was gonna be like
Hmm.
and how the program was set up for each individual based on each individual's goals and
Yeah.
each individual's body types and how everything just how the world interacts with me, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, and it's I felt like I was getting good information for once.
Yeah. And the accountability, like you mentioned, like having that reassurance and that guidance to know that you are on the right track and I'm in your corner every step of the way, kind of supporting you and helping you make the right decisions. That kind of gives you peace of mind, right?
Oh yeah, I get a text from you every Wednesday and every Friday, and I know that's coming. I just
He knows
know
the
that's coming.
cadence.
I know that's coming because I'm like, oh, it's 4 p.m. Where's my text at? Oh, and then there it
There it is.
is.
Got to have a communication cadence, I find. It does really help because I find it's like with the communication cadence, you're able to just kind of even just touch base. Even if it's just a
Yep.
win to update or a struggle to discuss, it's like you need to have that kind of communication cadence to just check box everything every single week. Just make sure you're doing
Right.
good.
Right. Because then from my end, it lets me know that you're watching, you're
Yeah.
paying attention.
Mhm.
you're shifting things as needed, because we've done that a few times, right?
Yeah.
Is when anytime we've gotten stuck, we've shifted something and then right back to reaching my goals. So to me, that's just been incredibly valuable, helpful, appreciated.
Yeah.
Just to know that you're there. And if I've got a random question on a Monday afternoon, you answer me.
Yeah. You typically have some good questions, so I always appreciate the questions too.
I like to wait until it's a big one. If it's something that can wait, I'll wait until like a coaching call and I'll just jot it down and be like, okay, here's my questions that I'm going to ask on Monday night. But if
Mhm.
it's kind of an important one that I need to know right away, I'll ask.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it shows me that you're invested in your own success. And I
I
think that's
am.
something that is a huge takeaway. Like if you're listening to this right now, is if you want to be successful and you want to transform your body, you have to absolutely care about your progress as much as your coach, right? Your coach cannot care more about your progress than you do because you're the one following the instructions, right? Well, you need to actually be able to put in the repetitions and put in the hours and the time to actually get the outcome. It's not some sort of magic fix where you have the instructions and if you just read it, it works. It doesn't work like that.
No, no, because it's a constant from your end, especially. It's
Mhm.
a constant
Yeah.
watching the data, what's happening.
Hmm.
Is this working? If it's not working, we're gonna change things,
Yeah,
and let's find what works for you.
exactly.
And so we found what works for me,
Yeah.
and I feel good about that.
And it's been consistent, right? That's so awesome to see because it can work. Like a lot of strategies do work for a month, 3 months, but we're like 10 months strong, seeing progress every single month. And that is some of the things that I really prioritize is making sure that we can kind of predict and prevent problems before they happen,
Yeah,
right? Because things can happen and they can stall your progress. You can definitely hit a plateau. So I always try to make sure that we have structure in place so that roadmap always has a different milestone or destination so that we don't get stuck and we hit a plateau and we're spinning our tires for too long.
yep.
So let's wrap up then and say, hey, someone is in your position like 10 months ago and they're just unsure of if they should start. Like what would you tell them? They want to start, but they're unsure if they should. How would you push them over the edge?
Oh my God. I'm going to do a sales pitch.
No.
No, it's this is a joke. It's very, I don't, it's worked for me, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've kind of talked about it this entire past half an hour is
Yeah.
here's why. Here's why it's worked for me. It's the structure and the roadmap and the communication and the community and there's just so much support here every
Yeah.
single step of the way
Yeah.
that you never have to feel lost. You never have to feel alone.
Hmm.
Um, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Because I've been over the past 10 months, I have watched my body literally transform before my eyes.
Yeah.
And while 10 months may seem like a long time, it really isn't in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And like just being able to look in the mirror and doing the progress photos and every month when I do my progress photos, I start at the beginning and I do the comparison and I flip through and I'm like, holy crap. Like this is I can't believe I started here, first of all.
Yeah.
And then I can't believe I'm here now with still so much more progress to go. And that's just a huge motivating thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's no better time than now, right? There's not going to be a better time. And that's something that we kind of convince ourselves that we're too busy, we have too much stress, we got too much going on. And I feel like you were in that exact same boat at that time too. It wasn't like
Yeah.
you had less free time or more free time than you do now. I think you were as busy, if not more busy, and you were able to do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to, yeah, because I was going through a promotion at work, and so I
Yeah.
got a lot more busy and not a lot of time to fit in 20 more minutes of walking here, 20 more minutes of walking there, trying to get into the gym if I felt like it. There was just, no, everything just fits so nicely into my life right now.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for me. Unless there was anything else you wanted to touch on that we missed out, but I think pretty good?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we pretty much have. I do have a lot. I gotta say one last thing is
Yeah.
my colleagues at work have been watching the slimming transformation as this goes on, and I've had a few of them reach out and go, okay, who is this guy? I need to check him out. So I passed your info along. It's now
Nice.
kind of in their hands. It's you're and
Appreciate
you're
that.
right. It's like what there is no perfect time.
Yeah.
There is no, okay, maybe next month, maybe next month. Well, you're just going to be a month behind from where
Yeah.
you could have been, right? And that's
It's a
just the
good
only
way
way
to
that
put
I
it.
can explain it.
Hmm. That's a great way to put it, and I appreciate the recommendation.
Mhm.
That's how we grow basically is word of mouth. So I do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Troy. Well, great seeing you. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to share your story, and I know that someone is going to be inspired, and you basically changed someone's life today, and thank you so much for that.
Awesome. My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries. Awesome, man. Have a good day, and we'll chat soon then. Take care.
Awesome. See you later.
Yeah, bye-bye.